wonderful. It's a real privilege for us to host this and to showcase Colorado skiing, because we think it's the best in the world, and I think an awful lot of other people now believe us.
Everything that is important in life isn't wrapped up in a clock. It's bigger than that.
Jalbert Productions present The Technicians, the official film, television presentation of the 1989 World Alpine Ski Championships.
You know, Vail always hosts some of the best races in the world, and they have since I was racing back in the 60s, but I think they really showed the course preparation, the excitement, and I think that excitement's going to show the whole country and the world how good Colorado skiing is.
The Technicians is brought to you by AT&T, the right choice. Ray-Ban, sunglasses by Bausch & Lomb. Descente. And Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
Hello everybody, I'm Andy Milne.
And I'm Cindy Nelson. Welcome to Vail and Beaver Creek Resort for the 1989 World Alpine Ski Championships. Andy and I are both past competitors in the World Championships and are very pleased to be your hosts for this great skiing spectacular.
In this 1 hour, we're going to be covering 3 specific events: the men's combined event and the slalom and giant slalom for both men and women. Stay with us and we'll be right back with the 1989 World Alpine Skiing Championships.
Winter Sportscast is sponsored in part by Blue Mountain Ski Area and by Wilberger Ski Shops of Bryn Mawr, Abington, and Montgomeryville.
The first race for the men is the combined event. Those men who enter will race a slalom and a downhill. The winner will have acquired the most points based on his combined results. Andy, as you know, Billy Kidd won the first gold medal ever for the United States in 1970 in the men's combined event.
That's right, Cindy. He finished third in the slalom, taking home that bronze medal. But another remarkable result was the 6th in the downhill. Remarkable because his back was so bad he had to race with a brace. Now, the United States does not have a strong combined team this year. However, many of the top slalom skiers are entered. The combined event is a great athletic event combining both technical and downhill skills. Taking a closer look at the athletes, let's focus on Mark Girardelli. The reason? Well, he's the reigning world champion. Not only that, this year he's skiing phenomenal, leading the overall World Cup and winning 3 of the last 4 downhills and 2 slaloms. Mark Girardelli, the man to beat.
Mark Girardelli is having a monster year. Virtually assured of the overall World Cup title, he is dominating the downhill, the points leader in the slalom, 4th in giant slalom, and 5th in Super G. In team standings, he himself trails only the Swiss and Austrian teams in total World Cup points. For years regarded as one of the top skiers on the tour and a previous winner of the overall World Cup title, it has been a while since he has been completely healthy. But this year, he has been 100% fit. He feels there are also other reasons for his success.
Last springtime I made some changes in the material. I changed the binding and boots, and this was maybe the most important reason I could come back to my old form.
So as 85 men shed their warm-ups and prepare for the first run of the slalom portion of the combined event, great expectations will keep Mark Girardelli cloaked in pressure.
It was a big pressure on me, and it's still on me, a big pressure, because I won most of races in January, and so I'm a little happy that I came down to the finish and not so a bad result.
The men's combined event has only 2 real contenders, Girardelli and Pirmin Zurbriggen of Switzerland. They are superb skiers in the disciplines of the combined slalom and downhill. The World Cup slalom races have been hotly contested all year long. Today should be even more so. Starting first, Gunther Motter quickly establishes the pace. Armin Bittner isn't able to finish the course. Paul Fromelt has a great run and takes the lead from Motter with a time of 49.96 seconds. Jonas Nielsen is next with a time of 50.08. Wearing bib number 5, Girardelli starts strong.
Three-event favorite, the transplanted Austrian and reigning world champion combined, has the possibility of winning all 5 gold medals here in Vail and across the finish.
He finishes with a time of 50.02 and in second place. He seems satisfied, but for now, he can only wait for Zurbriggen. Racer number 8 is the 24-year-old Japanese Tetsuya Okabe, the first strong technical racer from Japan in years. As he charges down the course, his first interval time has him on pace with the leaders. He finishes in exactly 50.02 seconds and takes over second from Girardelli. Of the first 8 racers to start, 5 have finished and are an unbelievable 16/100ths of a second apart. Paul Akala, Ole Christian Puriset, and Bernhard Justrein have good runs and stay close to the top 5. Zurbriggen is starting 15th, last of the first seed. As he pushes off with his characteristic powerful skating strides, he must feel a sense of anxiety and insecurity. Bad races and a case of flu has shaken his slalom confidence. He finishes 15th, a full 1.5 seconds behind Girardelli, now in 3rd place, and is disgusted.
For the second run, the top 15 finishers from the first run will be reversed. With Paul Fromelt from Liechtenstein leading, he'll be racing 15th. Now, it's going to be raced on the same hill, but a new course, new gates, and new rhythm. Also, Girardelli is only 6/100ths behind, and Zurbriggen is over a second behind. It could get down to the wire in the downhill, but the second run is so important.
Zurbriggen starts first in the second run and seems to have regained some of his confidence.
Switzerland's Pierman Zurbriggen on course has to rebound from what has to be a disappointing first run for the 25-year-old from Sassal Miguel. 15th after the first run, over a 1.5 seconds behind our leader Paul Fromelt, the overall World Cup champion, 84, 87, and 88, 34 career World Cup wins. And Zurbriggen now across the finish line with a second run time of 46.83, a combined time of 1:38.
As he finishes, he seems a bit more optimistic and personally satisfied. Starting 10th, young Norwegian Ole Christian Puriset has a good second run and takes the lead. Another of the new breed of Scandinavian technicians, Jonas Nielsen, takes over second. Girardelli on course for his final run.
Of course, now comes the one-man ski team from Luxembourg. This is Mark Girardelli, the 25-year-old transplanted Austrian, now racing for Luxembourg. Virtually could win all 5 gold medals here at the World Championships, but after the first run of men's combined slalom, he is 3rd behind Paul Fromelt and Tetsuya Okabe. So Mark Girardelli now must make his run on this second run to stay ahead of Pierman Zurbriggen and the rest of the field. And Girardelli across the line now in a time of 47.63.
Girardelli finishes and is in 3rd place. Okabe of Japan starts with strong crowd support.
One of the surprises out of the first run is Tetsuya Okabe, the 23-year-old from Kaiwa, Japan. Second, the veteran Paul Fromelt after the
His run is mistake-free. He finishes 4th. Literally only 1/100th of a second behind the great Girardelli. Okabe is a man to watch. Accepting the congratulations of Okabe is Ole Christian Puriset, with Girardelli 3rd and Zurbriggen 11th. The stage is set for a classic downhill battle between the two.
A very strong and unexpected win by the Norwegian Ole Christian Puriset. For the next several days now, the men will be training downhill here in Beaver Creek. And we'll be right back with more skiing at the 1989 World Alpine Skiing Championships with the men's combined downhill. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the 1989 World Alpine Ski Championships. Pierman Zurbriggen, one of the top ski racers in the world, took a very serious fall while training for the downhill. Andy is at the start of the men's combined downhill with an update.
Thanks, Cindy. Yes, Pierman Zurbriggen is probably the biggest threat to Mark Girardelli, although a couple days ago he fell in training, a very high-speed fall, and he has sustained injuries to the upper body. He is injured today, but whether or not he can ski at 100% is yet to be seen.
Today will be a difficult journey through the elements of nature. It's snowing with dense fog rolling up and down the mountain. After an hour's delay, the race begins. Zurbriggen starts fourth. Not only is he attempting to overcome his slalom deficit, but he must contend with a snowy course, not yet cleared by an early procession of racers. He is naturally cautious. It is very possible he has added to his own problems with improper wax.
And out onto the course now comes Pierman Zurbriggen of Switzerland, a 25-year-old. It's his birthday tomorrow, and he'd love to give himself an early birthday present, but he finds himself in an uncharacteristic position, finishing 11th after the combined slalom, and now has to play catch-up here in the downhill. And Zurbriggen now across the finish line in a time of 2.08.15 puts him into third position.
Girardelli starts eighth.
And now taking his shot at this men's combined downhill course is Mark Girardelli, the 25-year-old from Luxembourg. Third after
He rockets through the fog and mist on the upper part of the hill. It is hard to imagine the brute strength and delicate balance that must be alternately called upon to successfully complete any run. To have to overcome bad visibility is adding an even greater burden.
Right now, Girardelli has developed into a complete skier this year, winning 3 World Cup downhills earlier in the year, including back-to-back wins in Penguin, Switzerland. Girardelli across the line in a time of 2:04.64, and it puts Mark Girardelli into the lead.
His finish time is well ahead of Zurbriggen's. In a matter of minutes, it is apparent that Girardelli, with the second best time in the downhill, has won the gold medal. Pierman Zurbriggen can only congratulate Girardelli as he settles for fourth and another day.
It was not so easy after the slalom for me. The difference was very tight, and I knew from the training runs that this downhill is very good for Pierman Zurbriggen, and so I had to find a really good attitude for the race.
Well, congratulations to Mark Girardelli in winning the gold medal in the men's combined. Let's take a look at some other exciting activities that are taking place here at the 1989 World Alpine Skiing Championships in Vail and Beaver Creek.
With the massive influx of international athletes and spectators, Vail and Beaver Creek Resort plans some exciting, entertaining, and interesting events to satisfy the varied interests of the visitors from sunrise to sunset. Evenings were filled with music and entertainment.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older and we would have to wait?
The history of Colorado was a theme that often found its way into the fun and celebration.
The women's slalom event has had a long tradition of rivalries at the World Championships. In recent years, the woman most often the focus of the press attention was now retired Erika Hess from Switzerland. Cindy is at the start of the women's slalom with her thoughts on today's event.
Andy, I'm not sure I'd call it a rivalry, but today a Swiss and an American woman will be fighting for the gold medal. The undefeated Swiss Vreni Schneider has won every single slalom race she's entered this year. However, our own Tamara McKinney will be skiing for a hometown crowd.
The race will start at 9:30. At 9 o'clock, the temperature is still below zero, and Tamara McKinney's toes are starting to freeze. She had had the same problem the day before when she practiced with her teammates on a course set by their coach Martin Rufner. Tamara worked hard and concentrated despite the cold. During the same training session, McKinney's roommate, Eva Twardokins, couldn't help her feelings of frustration. Tomorrow, she will start 29th, and for the former bronze medal winner at the 1985 World Championships, 29th is embarrassing. Now it's time to race. The bitter cold has to be forgotten. Tamara starts second.
Out of the start gate now comes Tamara McKinney of the United States, the 26-year-old from Olympic Valley, California, hoping for a second gold medal in these Vail World Championships after her combined win last week. Third in the World Cup slalom standings coming into Vail with a second place finish in the slalom in Grindelwald, Switzerland earlier in the year. And now McKinney across the finish line in a time of 43.98 puts her into the early lead.
Matthias Svett starts fourth. She finishes very closely behind McKinney. Everybody patiently waits for Frenny Schneider. Frenny will start 14th. She's had a long, cold, tiring wait at the top.
Out of the start gate now comes Frenny Schneider of Switzerland, the 24-year-old from Elm, looking for her first gold medal in these World Championships after finishing second to Tamara McKinney in the combined last week. Has won all World
On course, she never really gets on track and finishes almost a second and a half behind McKinney. But then, Frenny is known for her come-from-behind second runs. The finish area is almost empty of spectators as Eva Twardokins starts her run. She starts from the 29th position. The course has begun to deteriorate. Carving turns is much more difficult. Somehow she finds a rhythm and, to her amazement, finishes in the first seed, 14th. This year on the World Cup circuit, Eva Twardokins has seldom gotten a chance to race a course that hasn't been chopped up by skiers ahead of her. As she enters the start gate for the second run, she knows that here is a real chance, the chance she's been working for. She tells herself, I'm going to make the most of this now.
Prize for the U.S. in the first run, aside from Tamara McKinney, is Eva Twardokins, finishing 14th after starting in the 29th position, the 23-year-old out of Reno, Nevada. Knee injury in the opening slalom in 1988, but on the comeback trail now is the bronze medalist in giant slalom in 1985 in Borneo. And Twardokins now under the finish banner in a time of...
She knows this is it. She is skiing exactly as she has dreamed of all season long. Schneider starts 8th, and right from the start, it's vintage Frenny. Her powerful body literally blows away the poles.
The second run women's slalom course is Frenny Schneider of Switzerland, the 24-year-old out of Elm. Fourth after the first run of the combined slalom, but then came back to edge Tamara McKinney. So Frenny Schneider now under the finish banner in a time of 46.04 seconds.
She finishes strong and takes the lead.
Frenny Schneider is in the lead.
The ever-present cowbells hail her efforts. A 3-medal winner at the 87 World Championships, Matthias Svett of Yugoslavia was very happy with her first run. With only McKinney left to race, she starts with the belief that finally Schneider can be beaten. And maybe McKinney too.
The last racer in the second run of the women's slalom at the World Championships is the 20-year-old from Ljubljana, Yugoslavia, Matthias Svett, silver medalist in the slalom at the 1988 Winter Games in Calgary. Here comes Matthias Svett. Svett across the finish line.
As she finishes, she knows she will be tough to beat and is not surprised to see her name replace Schneider at the top of the leaderboard. As McKinney prepares to enter the start gate, her roommate Twardokins offers a silent prayer. Earlier, Tamara had some thoughts on the slalom event.
With slalom, you have to risk a little more on every gate. There's 60 gates. They're not, 3 or 4 turns to worry about. They're about 60, so I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do.
McKinney starts. Already the winner of 1 gold medal, she knows that if she ever is in a position to relax and ski well, this is it. Her first interval time is right on pace with Schneider.
And now it all comes down to our first run leader, Tamara McKinney of the United States, the 26-year-old out of Olympic Valley, led after the first run by 0.04 of a second over Matthias Svett, who now sits at the bottom with the combined lead. And she led after the first run of the combined slalom, finishing second to Brenny Schneider. And Tamara McKinney now approaching the finish line. Tamara McKinney across the line, second run time of 47.58, a combined time of 1:31.56. It won't be enough. Tamara McKinney will win the bronze medal.
Third. Tamara has finished third, her second medal. Schneider is second with her second silver medal. And Matthias Svett wins the gold.
I didn't think about medal. I just wanted to do my best on the course, to ski very well, to be fast, and because I made it, I'm so happy.
In slalom, you have to risk everything you can, and especially on the first run to see where you stand. And I don't know. I don't think it's a disadvantage. It's just a test of who can power through the second run too. And I had a solid second run, and third is good.
Somewhere in the victory celebration, the two roommates, McKinney and Twardokins, share a private smile. They'll have a lot to talk about tonight.
Congratulations to Matthias Svett for her gold medal, Brenny Schneider with the silver, and our own Tamara McKinney, who has won the bronze medal. And we'll be right back with more on the 1989 World Alpine Championships with the men's giant slalom in Vail. Stay with us. In 1982, Steve Mayer became the first American to actually win a race at the World Championships. He won the gold medal in the men's giant slalom. Andy Mill is at the base of Vail Mountain for the start of today's race, the men's giant slalom.
Thanks, Andy. The United States ski team is not expected to ski extremely strong today in the giant slalom. However, we are expecting a great race and a boisterous crowd. Boisterous, the reason being, Alberto Tomba is making a second appearance today. But he's going to have to ski exceptionally well. His best results this year in giant slalom have been 2/3. He's going to be contending with 3 men who have won in GS. Switzerland's Pyramid Zurbriggen won the first one. Then Austrian's Rudi Nierlich has won one, and they'll all have to contend with Mark Girardelli.